to my own opening speech, they've said so many things that it feels like if I come and add anything, I'll just bore you and all that. But this is just what I would like to say. In the book of Luke chapter 1, the book of Luke chapter 1, whether you're a Christian or not, I would like you to just listen to this, because I recognize that seated here are probably a lot of Christians who are attending this program so that they can learn more and get more things that will boost their confidence and persuasions in the Christian faith. I recognize there could also be some people who are Christians but are still not sure about whether they truly believe in this Christianity thing. There could be Muslims here, people who affirm Islam and would like to ask questions about Christianity and like to make us see what is wrong with Christianity. There could be atheists here and there could be agnostics. There could be people who even hate Christianity and all that. I want to ask something of you this morning. And in Luke chapter 1, whether you're a Christian or not, I'll just like to read it. Luke is speaking, and Luke is well known as a historian of the apostolic era. He was a companion of Paul, the apostle, and he was alive with the apostles after Jesus died and rose again. This is what he said. This is what he said in his book. He said, "Many have undertaken to draw up an account of things that have been fulfilled among us, just as they were handed down to us by those who from the first were eyewitnesses and servants of the word. So, Jesus, the Word, the Logos of God, the second person of the Godhead, came, and there were people that actually saw him. They interacted with him, they touched him, they felt him, they heard him, they listened to him, they ate with him. There were people that actually saw Jesus. And those people, they told other people about the things that they experienced with Jesus. Luke now says, "It is with this mind, since I myself have carefully investigated everything from the beginning, I too decided to write an orderly account for you, most excellent Theophilus." That means I have taken my time to look through everything that was said about Jesus, all the people that saw him, that were with him, that experienced him. I took my time to write out everything that he said, so that you may know the certainty of the things that you have been taught. That means so that you can know for sure, so that you can know without any doubt that really and truly there was a man called Jesus who came on the earth, who did all kinds of wonderful things. He did all kinds of miraculous things. He healed so many sick people. He cast out demons from so many sick people. He raised people that were dead. He did all kinds of miracles, multiplying food. He did all kinds of interesting things. This Jesus, before he died, he actually said, "A time will come when I will die." He predicted and he told his disciples over and over that a time is coming when I will die. Someone will betray me. I will be given over to the authorities, and the Roman ruler will give me over to the elders of the people, and I will be killed, but I will come back. And just as he said, he did. Mo talked about the proof that we know that Jesus resurrected from the dead. The truth is that as far as reason is concerned, every kind of rational principle by which we can believe that something is true more than applies to the resurrection of Jesus. Any standard that you use to look at the eyewitness accounts of Jesus, of his death and resurrection, and say it was not true, any standard you apply will be so high that you will not believe anything in your life. As sure as anything that we can know for a fact is true, Jesus died and rose again. As far as we can know that anything can be true historically, if you believe anything in history, you must believe that Jesus died and rose again. If you can believe that Alexander the Great existed, then you must believe that Jesus died and rose again. For you to believe that Alexander the Great existed and all the things that he did happened, you have to realize that the people that wrote about him, that actually wrote about him, wrote from oral tradition 400 years after he had died. It was not written by people that saw him. It was not written by people that were his enemies. Jesus died and rose again in the presence of all his people. His followers saw it. People that were not his followers recorded it. As far as anything can be true, Jesus died and rose again. And it is because someone can do it. He told them, destroy this temple and I will raise it up again. Speaking about his body. He said, I will raise it up again. Anybody that can die and raise himself up is worth listening to. Anybody that can die and raise himself up back to life is worth listening to. Now we have to ask ourselves, this man that could do all these things, someone that can walk on water and die and raise other people up from the dead, and also himself die and rise up from the dead, what did this man say about himself? What did this man say about himself? What did this man say about us? What did this man say about humanity? One of the things that he said is that he is God. He says he is the I am. He says he is God. And so, that is what we have brought to you today. I'm so happy at the way Sister Ijoma, my wife, said something earlier. Everybody here, listen, and this is what I want to ask of you. You have only one life. It is appointed for men to die once, and after that is judgment. You have only one life that can be meaningful. Living your life without meaning is not an option. Living your life without any sense of direction is not an option. That is the reason why you are here today, because you are looking for a sense of direction in your life. Of all the people that claim to have an answer to the meaning of your life, there is only one of them that died and rose again. If my life is going to end and I don't know what is on the other side, the only person worth listening to is the person that went to the other side and came back. If all the others only said their own and died and we don't even know what happened to them after, if Buddha said his own and died and we don't know what happened to him after, if Muhammad said his own and died and we don't even know what happened to him after, we cannot bank on their testimony because they are telling us about things that they don't know of. They are telling us about things that they did not experience. There is only one person that actually saw the place that is after here. Only that one person. We have proof that that one person saw it. And so that person said, before he died, he said something very interesting in John chapter 17. He said, I'm not praying for only my disciples, but I'm praying for everybody that is going to also believe on me through them. Something very interesting in that statement. He said a lot of things in that chapter. This man that died and rose again said something. He said, I'm thinking of you. Everybody that's going to be a Christian after my disciples, everybody that will listen to my disciples and become a Christian, he was saying then that he was praying for you. He was thinking of you. He actually knows you by your name. In Matthew chapter 10, he said something very interesting, that every single strand of hair on your head is accounted for. So he knew you would be here this morning. He knew you would come here. He knew you would be live streaming. He knew that for some kind of whatever reason, whatever means that he planned, that you will be here this morning. And what I just want to ask you for this morning is to please open your hearts to him. Listen and pay attention. Ask your questions sincerely. Open your heart. If you open your heart, he will not disappoint you. Whatever questions that you have, come before him humbly without the assumption that you know. You simply shouldn't have that kind of arrogance that I have it figured out. You don't. None of us do. The only person that has it figured out is giving us an opportunity to learn from him. I just want to ask you this morning to please open your heart to him. If you open your heart, he promised that everyone that asks will find. Everyone that asks. If you knock on his door, he will open it. He promised this. And so, Because we can trust him, we can depend on him. He has given us all the evidence to be sure that we can trust him and we can depend on him. Because of that, I want to give you the assurance on his behalf that if you open your heart to him, he will speak to you and he will answer your questions. He will speak to you and he will answer your questions. We are not here to win arguments. We are more interested in winning your heart. We are willing to look foolish if we will win your heart. If we can win you over to the truth, we would rather look foolish and stupid. We are not interested in winning arguments. We want you to meet this Jesus, God, who came to find us, who came to save us by himself, by putting on our human form, who died and rose again, and is eternally working our reconciliation to him.